Dhamma Thamba Ti Mumba Sive Lamken
Just now, somebody asked about the 8 lecture and the 10 endowment. I've discussed it with Rinpoche. The 8 lecture is that the human beings do not have all these unfavorable conditions. That means the sensual being is not in the hell realm, hungry ghost, or born as an animal, or born in the barbarians, as a barbarian with no sense of virtue and non-virtue. The sensual being is not in the long life God's type of situation. And with the 8 lecture, one of them is with full sensory organs, means full faculties. And the person does not hold the wrong view of causality, that means law of karma. And the 8th one is at the times when no Buddha was appeared, but in the 8 lectures, we are born in the time when the Buddha appeared. For the 10 endowments, there is the first one which is to be achieved by oneself is we are born as a human being. We live in a place where the Dharmas, called Dharma teachings. The 3rd one, having all sensory organs, all the faculties are proper. Eyes, ears, mouths and all these are proper. 4th is being free from heavy negative karmas, whereby we can still meet the Dharma. The 5th one is having devotion or understanding of the triple gems and acknowledging the Vinaya as the foundation of all spiritual practice. So the other 5 of the 10 endowment is a Buddha must have appeared in the world. A Buddha must have taught the Dharma. Then the Dharma that he taught continues. The Sangha member exists which practice the Dharma and follow the Master. And there is compassionate support existing. That means there is a lot of sponsor who is trying to support Buddhism. So these are the 18 conditions we have to contemplate as what Rinpoche have mentioned.
那下面我们在这个观想无常方面，那也是我们稍微精做一下，所以这个要同时要念这几句，然后再想一想。所以那为什么我们要观想无常的呢？因为我们在不能够很好的修行的原因，很多是来自于这种懒惰的心情。所以这个懒惰的心情里面，它也有的呢，就是这个好像呢自己看不起自己一样的自闭的这种心情。我肯定是学不了佛，我肯定是成不了佛，有这样的心态，这个必须要要打破这样的心态。
Next, Rinpoche said that we will contemplate on the impermanence. We will have to do a short meditation on this. Why we have to contemplate on impermanent? Rinpoche said that the reason is that a lot of times we cannot have good practice in Buddhism is because of laziness. And this will include like sometimes we look out ourselves thinking that we do not have the capability. We will say to ourselves that I will not be able to be Buddha. I cannot attain Buddhahood.
那很多事情上是那在世界上的很多的繁忙的工作，那就是这个放不开，所以呢，就是一直没有这个修行的机会，所以这样的就也是产生这个浪费时间的这种现象也有的。那有的呢，就是在这个特别贪爱于这个世间的各种的享受方面，所以呢，就他没有来得及这个修行的这种也是会有的。所以呢，我们要为了克服这些呢，必须应该有这个无常的观念来这个促使自己的修行。
a lot of times, a lot of people, they are always indulge in a lot of worldly things. They have a lot of things that they have to do in their daily life. They can never put down their work. They just attach to the works, keep on working and working, and sometimes without directions. By doing so, they lack the opportunity to practice. So in this sense, with a human body is actually a waste of the precious human body, a waste of time. And there are people who are very indulged into the worldly temporary enjoyment. They have desire on a lot of nice things in this world. So in order to overcome all this, we need to understand, and we need to understand impermanent, and we need to contemplate on what is impermanent.
所以在这种无常的观念，它是过去的很多的祖师大德们也好，那过去的很多修行人，也是他们刚开始这种无常的这个观想，然后呢，他就这个抓紧时间就这个修行嘛。所以呢，就是这个通过无常观念的这个进入到这个修行的行列来，然后在进入到修行的行列的时候呢，那他也是继续能够这个修行的，也是用无常的心来的这个要保护。最后的时候，那我们也是这种无常的观念的这个最终得到这个成就。所以尊者米勒日巴也他讲的嘛，他刚开始的时候，怕死亡，所以怕死亡的缘故呢，他就这个利用一切的时间来这个修行，所以最后的时候，他就这个了悟到大手印的境界的时候呢，那就是他就这个已经得到了这个无死的成就，所以呢，他就这个死也是空性的，所以他没有这种死亡的害怕的感觉。所以呢，这些都是也是这个刚开始的时候，通过无常的这样一些观想来能够帮助的。
So when we talk about impermanence, if we look at in the past, a lot of accomplished master or those practitioners, in the beginning of the practice, they will start contemplating on impermanent. They will visualize on that, and through that, they will make full use of the times to practice once they find that impermanence is always there. And this is how to get into serious practice. And if we understand impermanence in the process of the practice, it will fasten our practice. It will make us more devoted to our practice of Buddhism, and even last to the ultimate stage of the practice. The person will still be mindful of impermanence and be able to ultimately get enlightened. So Rinpoche mentioned about Lord Milarepa's, how he started to practice is in the beginning he mentioned that he feared of death, and as a result of this, he made good use of all his time to practice Buddhism. Ultimately, he get enlightened through this the realization of the Mahamudra meditations. And when he reached that stage, he accomplished a state whereby a state of no death. Then he have no fear of that then. Therefore, from the beginning of our practice, it's very important that we be mindful of impermanence. Rinpoche said that this will help us in our practice, and through the process of the practice, we're still mindful of impermanence. Then ultimately we will get enlightened if we keep on have mindfulness of impermanence even up to the last stage of the practice before we get enlightened.
所以在这个观无常的时候，主要要观的是，也是从自己的角度去观的，是不是？那比方说，我会不会死？那如果这样自己问的话，肯定是答案就是要死嘛。因为什么呢？我是生下来的，就是有生就有死，这是肯定的。那我死的时间有没有这个真正的一个好像呢就是规定的呢？那没有嘛，是不是？什么时候死也是没有办法估计到的。所以死的这个原因也是难以预测到的，或者是你在这个病了死，或者是你出现一些其他的这个灾难的死的。所以呢，就是这些死的原因也是多种多样的。所以这样各方面角度的去这个考虑的时候，真的是我们这个人生是很脆弱的所以呢，就是必须应该要抓紧时间，有这样的这个心态产生。
So when we talk of contemplations on the teachings on impermanence, we have to observe it from various angles ourselves. For example, Rinpoche said that we have to ask ourselves this question, whether I will die or not. Of course the answer will be yes. Why is it so? Because once a person is born, he will definitely have to face death. There's no such thing as once you're born, you will never die. And as to when the person will die, can the person ascertain the exact time he will die? Nobody can tell that. Because there are various reasons that a person will face death. Nobody can predict it. For example, some die out of sickness, cancer, or other very serious illness, or the person might die because of motor accidents. So we have to ask ourselves, bring out a lot from different angles we try to consider in this aspect. And then ultimately it will lead us to realize that even we have this precious human body, the human body is actually very fragile. Due to impermanence, anytime it will go away. And by then, having realized that, then we will try our very best to make use of our times before we die.
所以下面呢，我们在15页和16页的这些英文念一下，然后我们稍微打坐观想一下无常。所以这个也是刚才前面讲的，是针对自己内心去观，是不是？那这样的话，我们才能够感受到，真的是无常是不可思议的，那随时随地都可以出现的，应该有这样的信念会产生的。
So Rinpoche said that all of us will try to read the verses in page 15 and 16. After that, we will do the meditation. We should contemplate on impermanence and know that this impermanence will always appear. Always it will appear. It does not have a fixed time at what time this impermanence will appear. So we read it now, okay? Page 15. Ka, no matter what has been done, nothing benefits at the time of death. Worldly activities, yes, they are wise. Karma,
can you put your trust
in the certainty of death and knowing that nothing remains long, quickly accomplish liberation. Impermanence makes departure certain, like the shadow of the setting sun. Abandoning laziness and indifference, blaze like fire and fierce diligence. This life is impermanent, like clouds in the autumn sky. Regard the movement of things at time of death in the same way. The life of beings is like lightning in the sky, like water falling from a steep mountain cliff. It departs quickly, quickly.
好了，那现在我们稍微体会一下，也是很好的。那这个光无常的主要的目的，并不是我们这个心里产生一个我要死了就这样的这个造成一个恐惧的心态，并不是这个目的。它的主要的目的是什么呢？那我们在这个死生这个宝贵的人生，它的作用是非常大，但是它是无常的现象，所以必须要把这个你的宝贵的人生这个安排好时间，该这个修行的时候要修行，该怎么样的时候该怎么样的，是不是？总的来说起来的话，我们过一个人生，这个人生不要浪费这个人生，过一个意义的人生，应该是这样一个角度去考虑的，并不是说你给你造成一个好像的痛苦我要死了，我要死了，这样就没什么。你怕死也是该死的时候肯定死嘛，是不是？对，所以呢，这个目的并不是你吓唬你心里产生一个恐惧的心，并不是这个目的。主要的目的就是什么呢？你把这个安排好这个修行的时间，那你这个利用好这个宝贵的人生所以呢，主要的目的就在这个地方，所以它就这个对我们修行有意义。不然的话，那就是这个我们光为了这些年过也是没有什么帮助嘛，是不是？所以这个要从他的为什么这样一个什么样的角度去理解，这是一个很重要的。
Rinpoche say now that through just now the short contemplations, the short sittings, we try to experience what is impermanence. The purpose of trying to observe impermanence is not to scare us, not to let us feel that, we are going to die one day. So what, we get fear of being died, we don't know what to do. It's not actually like that. Rinpoche said the actual meanings of doing this, the actual aim of doing this, is actually we should realize that since we've got such a precious human body, and since this human body can never be there forever because of impermanence, then we must treasure it and make good use of our times. We should arrange our time properly. There are times that we should do the practice. There are times we should not waste our time on unmeaningful things. We should do something very meaningful. Accumulation of merits purifies our bad karma in our daily life. We do not try to waste what we have, that is the human body. We do a lot of things that is meaningful, like helping people and so forth. Again, Rinpoche emphasized that understanding this impermanent and leading to death is not to scare ourselves, that we should understand, we try to arrange proper times for our practice. Even we have a lot of things in daily life we have to do, our work we have to deal with it, then we must always try to make good use of our human bodies. It's not to be pessimistic about the idea that ultimately I have to die. This is the whole purpose of doing all this contemplation and meditation on impermanent.
所以呢，这个以前在西藏有一个修行人叫卡拉贡琼，他的名字叫卡拉贡琼。这个卡拉贡琼呢，他在这个山上闭关的一个修行人，所以当时他这个所在的地方是一个山洞里面，这个山洞的门外面长了一棵那个糍粑瓷，那种糍粑有糍粑的那种瓷。他经常在这个出去然后进去的时候，经常这个他的衣服挂到那个糍粑上面，所以但是他本来想他这个把这个糍粑要锯掉砍掉，他这么想的时候，他当下他就这个自己正念来这个促使自己，我哪有这么这个浪费这个时间干什么？还有在这个锯这个糍粑的时间用在修行上好，所以呢，他就是这样的，每天都这样挂来挂去，也是他不在乎的。就这样呢，最后的时候，他在那个闭关房里，12年的这种闭关禅修，然后最后他这个得到了成就，所以他得到了成就的时候，那个糍粑还是没有这个锯掉，所以这个什么呢？他就这样的这个抓紧时间，不浪费时间，所以这些都是他这个我们修无常观念的，修无常观的他的一个好像呢就是这个模仿一样的，所以这个佛贤上师言教里面也提到过他的事情。
Next, Rinpoche talk about one true story in Tibet. A long time ago, there was this Champa, the practitioners by the name of Kara Kunchong. He was practicing in the mountain retreat, and he lived inside a cave. In front of the main entrance of the cave, there was this plants have a lot of thorns, so whenever he tried to go in and out, his clothing will be poked by all these thorns, and it's very inconvenient for him. And some part of his clothing was damaged because of that. So because of this inconvenience, every time he go in and out, he would think that he should cut this plant. Whenever he have this thought, just to cut away this plant in front of the cave, he will have the right mindfulness by saying that time is so short, everything is impermanent. Why should I waste my time on cutting on this plant? I can use those time in my practice as well. So forever coming in and out of the cave, he tried to overcome it with the thought of impermanent, that he have to treasure his time, and ultimately, after 12 years of practice, he become an accomplished master and get enlightened. So by the time he get enlightened, or you can say that he have great accomplishments, the plant is still there in front of the cave. So Rinpoche said that the whole gist of the story is that the practitioners know how to make good use of his time in the practice and not to waste even a minute, a second. And from here, we can see how important it is to contemplate on impermanence in our practice. And this story actually you can find in the book called The Words of the Perfect Teachers by Patrul Rinpoche.
那下面我们稍微有这个体会一下业力因果。业力因果这个法论上的是第17页里面，有4句话。Teachings Milarepa Centre龙卷大的明晰记名章，H.E.12th看到看着呀，人什么性的结算章，这是佛的这个佛讲的，佛对一个国王讲的，所以这个国王将来这个到了时间的时候，一定要这个离开这个人间的，所以在那个时候呢，你的财产也是不会跟随着你，你的亲戚朋友也是不会跟随着你，但是一直跟随着你的有一个什么呢？那就是你的业。所以这个呢，好像我们身体和身体的影子一样，永远不离的。所以呢，就是这个业一直在这个跟随着我们，是这个意思。所以业里面呢，那昨天我们讲以前讲过了，那比如说我们恶的业、善的业，各种各样的业有嘛，所以呢，就是这个所以这些都我们在这个昨天讲过了，所以我们在这次要观想的时候，我们怎么去观想呢？那业力因果是不虚的，是肯定是种什么样的因，必须要结什么样的果。所以这样的话，那我们自己这个从生下来一直到现在，那我们过去生我们不知道嘛，那但是我们生下来一直到现在，那我们究竟造了什么样的业？造善业的多吗？还是造恶业的多？所以呢，就这样的要观察自己的这个行为，观察我们自己的心的动机，这些都观察的时候，那我们才能够这个业力因果关系上面，这个严格的可以遵守，这个尽量的断除各种的恶业。尽量的这个做这个善业，所以这样的话，那我们这个对我们这个修行上很有帮助
的。Next, to be able to benefit ourselves in our practice, or to have an effective practice, we will have to contemplate on karma, or the cause and conditions. And this is on page 17, which you have read it out in Tibetan. The English version is, even if one were a king, at the time of death, one's possessions, enjoyment, retinue, and friends will not follow. But wherever that sentient beings go, his karma follow after him like shadows. So these 4 verses, which according to Rinpoche is actually our Lord Sakyamuni Buddha. He was trying to advise one king telling him that when the time is out, he has to be he have to leave this his body, or when he's going to die, whatever money or wealth or properties that he have, he cannot take it with him. Whatever beloved one or his relative, he cannot ask them to go along with him when he die. The only things that will follow him is his karma, whether it is good karma or bad karma. Follow him is just like the shadow following the body, it will never separate. So, in our life, we will have, through our action, we have committed good karmas, we will have negative karmas. All these should be within our ambit of contemplations on the law of karma, and until the stage where we understand that, very sure that the law of karma really exists in the universe, is true. So, in the sense that whatever cause that we have done, there will definitely be a result when the condition arises. So, with this in mind, Rinpoche said that we try to contemplate from the time we were born until now. We ask ourselves whether we have done a lot of good karmas or a lot of negative karmas, whether we have done a lot of good virtue or negative virtues. Then we have to ask ourselves, for the good virtue, how many or how much we have until now. For those bad things that we have done that created negative karma, how many that we have created. We have to be honest ourselves in these particular periods as to our conduct or motivations, what we have done. We try to observe it now, and from there we will understand that how important it is that we have to be abide by the law of karma. In that sense, then it will enhance us in any of our practice.
所以说我们相信这个业力因果，相信这个是，那是这样的这个树立起这样一个观念是，作为一个学佛的人来说起来的话，最根本和最基础。如果没有连这个业力因果都不相信，是不是？如果这样的话，你就这个在其他的方面没有什么可谈的了。所以这个是最关键的。好。
So, we definitely will have to believe in the truth of the law of karma, the cause and conditions. This is actually, as a Buddhist, this is the view that, the basic views that we must have if we want to call ourselves a Buddhist. If we do not even believe in the cause and conditions or the law of the karma, then what is that what is it that it will be for us, if we continue with our practice, if this basic foundation we don't even have it, it will not do us any good in our practice.
所以呢，这个大家在这个米拉热巴的著作传里面也可以看到。那米拉热巴讲他的这个自传，讲了以后呢，那米拉热巴的这种修行的道风，他的这个修行的这样苦修的这种精神，那是非常的这个不可思议。所以呢，当初米拉热巴的那些弟子们呢，他们问这个尊者米拉热巴，你的这个修行的这个过程，我们在这个听的时候呢，真的是不可思议的。所以 哪怕是你能够在这个从思想动机上有这样的决心的话，根本就像我们这样的话，从身体上受不了的。所以你肯定是不是一般的人，你是一个佛和菩萨的一个化现。所以你是什么佛的这个化身呢？弟子们就这个向弥勒日巴这样请教的时候，那弥勒日巴尊者说，我什么佛的转世化现，我也不知道。他说，我今天能够走这样一个修行的路的，主要的第一个条件就是什么呢？我100%的相信这个因果，业力因果。所以我在弥勒日巴他年轻的时候造过很多的恶业嘛，是不是？下这个咒语了，这个撒莲了，还有下冰雹了，就这样的这个。所以呢，他说，如果我今生没有很好的修行的话，我下一世肯定是下地狱的。如果下了地狱的话，那就我就完了，再没有什么希望了。所以他就有这样的决心来这个修行的。所以他说，如果你们都有像我这样的这个100%的相信业力因果的这样一个关系的话，那你们每一个人都也不差于我，都能够可以跟我一样的修行的。但是你们不能做到的原因是什么呢？你们对于相信这个业力因果方面的信仰的程度不够，所以这个是真的是如此。虽然我们在这个修行人大部分都是，不管怎么说，他是这个业力因果是他承认的有的，但是这个具体的决心上面呢，这个业力因果的这种信任的程度上那是有差别的，是不是？所以有差别的情况下，那修行的他的成就和阶段各方面也是会有差别的。
Next, Rinpoche talk about that all of us might have read the biography of Milarepa.
先你讲我。
In his biography, he talked about himself, how he practiced, and a lot of us will be inspired by the way he's practiced. In a very harsh condition in the hill, in the mountains, he can practice so well, and it's very, very incredible he can do that. Not ordinary beings can do that. This is the perspective of a lot of people. At that time, the disciples of Milarepa did ask him about this, that they asked Milarepa that through what you say about your practice, the whole process, we listen to what you have said, is really very incredible. Your motivations, your perseverance, you've gone through a lot of hardship and all these things. They make us feel that you are not an ordinary being. You are actually the manifestation of a Buddha. Then they ask Milarepa that, which Buddha are you? Then Milarepa replies that if you ask this question, who am I in the past life, that maybe you ask me this question that I might be a Buddha manifested in this life. This I do not know. But what my achievement today, what I can say is that I have attained this particular achievement in this present life through my practice in path of my practice, I 100% believe in the law of karma, and this is the main factor which made me practice well and get accomplishments. As we know, Rinpoche said that when Milarepa was young that time before he met Maopa, he have done a lot of bad things. He have learned up the witchcraft whereby he can do hailstorm and all that. He have killed a lot of his relatives and so forth that is not grateful to the family in the early stage. Then at that times he will realize that if in that life he do not really go into practice, definitely he will go to hell. And he strongly believe in law of karma, that he have done something very bad, and he will definitely go to the rebellion. That makes him determines that he must practice well. And the first thing is he believe in the law of karma. And he told the disciple, if you are like me, strongly 100% believe in the law of karma, you can do the same thing like me and you can achieve enlightenment. But a lot of times, a lot of you will not be able to do that. It's because your understanding of the law of karma or your recognition on the belief of law of karma is still not adequate, not good enough. So, as to a lot of practitioners, different practitioners will have different levels of believing in the law of karma. And this makes a difference to those practitioners. Some who totally believe in the law of karma, be very careful about their body, speech and mind, and try not to do wrong. Certainly those group of people will be different and they can achieve enlightenment. And to those who, to a certain extent, will believe in law of karma but not thoroughly believe in it and strongly practice it, through the practice, of course, it will take them a longer time to achieve accomplishment.
时间到了，
Rinpoche said time's up. We will
谢了。
we will have to go for lunch now.